live off to the right. I see it. We're going live now anyway. I turned off the sound of.
left fielder, number 10, Tyler Bonney. Batting second, the center fielder, number 25, Max Raha. Batting third, the shortstop, number 23, Christian Boudreau. Catcher, number 27, Emmett Bornstein. Batting sixth, the pitcher, number 7, Matt Leopold. Batting seventh, second baseman, number 15, Luke Coppin. Batting eighth, first baseman, number 22, Nick Amatuli. And batting ninth, the right fielder, number 9, Tyler Nyberg. Reserves for Avon, number 26, Danny Gall. Coaches for Avon, Miles Bernstein, Brady Williamson, Ben Lombard, and Jake Coppin. And now the starting lineup for Bristol. Leading off, the right fielder, number 6, Austin Brown. First baseman, number 12, Adam Cairns. Batting third, the second baseman, number 13, Andrew Lozier. Batting fourth, the center fielder, number 8, Ryan Fredette. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 11, Jack Kozakowski. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 2, Owen Davis. Batting seventh, the shortstop, number 5, Evan Bouchard. Batting eighth, the third baseman, number 4, Zach Rinkovich. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 1, Trevor Nohealy. Reserves, number 21, Matt Bouchard. Starting pitcher. Number 16, Alex Canzalanrini. Number 15, Dylan Woodson. Number 14, Tyler Martin. Number 9, Tyler Stickles. Number 3, Roberto Cruz. Number 24, Nate Ouellette. And number 20, Mike Lorenzetti. Coaches for Bristol, Jerry LaPenta, Rick Lemke, Corey Fredette. Today's umpires at first base, Dave Bindis. At third base, Brian King. And behind the plate, Ed Nenna. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Rotary Field in South Windsor with this quarterfinal matchup in the Connecticut American Legion Baseball Tournament between 7th seed Avon and 3rd. This is the first half of a doubleheader here on Sporting News CT with this first game, and then the second game this evening, approximately 7:30, will be Middletown against Waterford. There's the only 4 teams remaining in the northern region of this state tournament, and the other games going on down in the south at Seppa Field in Meriden, Connecticut, have the other 4. And then this Sunday, the 2 winners of each of these, the north and the south, will then converge and then play for the Connecticut American Legion State Baseball Championship, a single elimination tournament with teams playing virtually almost every day. The only day they get off is Saturday, barring a rain day that might occur. Well, here's the lineup tonight for Avon. Tyler Bonney will lead it off playing left field. Max Raha will play center field in bat second. Christian Boudreau plays shortstop. He'll bat third. Emmett Borenstein will catch. He'll bat in the cleanup spot. Danny Bai will play third base and bat fifth. Matt Leopold will pitch today and bat seventh. Luke Coppin plays second base and bat seventh. Nick Amatuli will play first base and bat eighth. And Tyler Nyberg, with the right fielder, will bat ninth. On the mound for Bristol tonight is Matt Bouchard, and catching the balls and strikes behind the dish is Owen Davis. Down at third base, Zach Rainkavage. Evan Bouchard at shortstop. Second base, Andrew Lozier, the winning pitcher of last night's game, two days ago. Adam Karen at first base. Out in left field, Trevor Nohilly. The center fielder, covering a lot of space out here in this big ballpark at Rotary Field, is Ryan Fredette. And in right field is Austin Brown. As I said, a very, very big field here at South Windsor's Rotary Field. It's like 325 down the left field line. Straight center field is 400 feet. And out in right field, it's 340 feet. Quite a poke, no matter which way you look at it, whether you're a lefty batter or a righty batter. Bristol was 15-5 going into the tournament, and they beat up on South Windsor in the first round 9-2 in a 14-hit attack. And then they barely nipped Tri-Town 2-1. Both of those 2 games were played at Muzzy Field in Bristol, Connecticut. Avon downed Ellington 3-0 in the first round, and in the second round they upset second seed RCP by the score of 9-3. The winner of this game will play the winner of the next game between Middletown and Waterford tomorrow evening right here at Rotary Field at 6:30. So we're just about ready to get underway here, and stepping up to the plate now is Tyler Bonney, as he's a left-handed batter.
Number 10, Tyler Bonney.
As Matt Bouchard
Bristol, number 21, Matt
gets some words of encouragement from his teammates, and then we're ready to go. Umpires for tonight's game: Dave Bindus down at first. Home plate umpires: Ed Nenna. Brian King is at third base. Mr. King was the one who recited the American Legion pregame oath, and he did it by rote, so he didn't even have any notes or anything to do it. First pitch is a curveball into the lefty down low for ball 1. So Bonnie will step in. He swings that red wooden bat. All wooden bats here in the Connecticut American Legion play. There's ball 2. Different than the Northeast Regional going on up there now at the College of the Holy Cross's Fitton Field, where they all go to aluminum bats, as is the World Series is all aluminum. The 2-0 pitch is popped up down the right field line. Going in foul territory to get it is Austin Brown. He makes the catch. So there's 1 up and 1 down now for Avon. Austin Brown was the player that got that rally going against South Windsor against South Windsor when he bunted down the third baseline. And it all started from there, as they scored 5 runs in the first inning in that game on their way to the 9-2 victory. Max Raha steps in. He's also from the left side, and he takes the ball down low. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a strike. Check that. 0-1 now to Raha. And there's a slicing foul ball to the left side, so Raha has dug himself a deep hole with 0-2. Boudreau winds and deals. Up high and in, causing Raha to get out of the batter's box. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Raha. We just got underway. Top of the first inning. Avon, by the virtue of their 3rd seed in this tournament, is the home team. And there's a ball just missing inside. Got to have pitching in this tournament as the teams are playing basically 4 days in a row until they get 1 day off on Saturday and then play the championship on Friday. So it's certainly survived in advance. There's another ball. So count is full now at 3-2. Boudreau shakes his head in agreement at the pitch call and throws. It's inside, ball 4. So Avon has their first base runner aboard with 1 out, brings up the number 3 hitter, Christian Boudreau, who is the Avon shortstop.
Christian Boudreau. Quick reminder to both teams, could you help out with foul balls behind your dugouts? Thank you.
And the pitching coach from Bristol calls the pitches. You can see the catcher look over it. Runner goes on the first pitch. Curveball in there for a strike. The throw down to second is not in time. Great jump by Raha, and he has a stolen base. So now we have a runner in scoring position for Avon as time is called, and Davis goes out to speak to Bouchard, probably to get the signals straightened out because now there's a runner on second base. Makes sense. Brings up another left-handed batter. Maybe we should save some left-handed pitching to throw against this team. 3 left-handed batters in a row in the top of the lineup. Boudreau looks in. Checks the runner at second base and deals. Like a breaking ball of some sort there, and it dropped down low for ball 1. Bouchard is short bird dogging the runner. There's a pop up in foul ground. Chasing it now is the third baseman and the catcher, Owen Davis, makes the catch. So Bouchard able to get the number 3 batter for Avon out. And now there's 2 outs with the runner on second. Brings up the Avon catcher, Emmett Borenstein. Borenstein will be a senior next year at Avon High School, 6'1", 180-pounder. The first pitch to Borenstein is in there for a strike. Good hard fastball on the upper outside part of the plate. We're up here in the press box at Rotary Field. So it's the best camera angle that we could get. And here's the pitch. That one's in the dirt, blocked well, and the runner goes. They have a shot at him, and it's not in time. It looked like Davis sort of hesitated, didn't think he was going to go, but Max Raha took off on that wild pitch. And now he's at third base. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike now, and the right-handed hitting Borenstein. The fastball fouled off to the right side. So now it's 1-2. Outfield playing slightly to pull. Right fielder kind of shallow with these wood bats. There's strike 3 called as Borenstein takes that one. So for Avon, the top of the first, no runs, no hits, no errors. They leave 1 runner on base. We'll be right back. The bottom of the first, Bristol coming to bat for the first time.
We were there when our nation called us to serve. We were there to write the original GI Bill and get it signed into law. When a community found itself in the middle of a natural disaster. When tragedy struck at a local school. For veterans who suffered from toxic exposure and needed a voice on Capitol Hill. And we're still serving as part of the American Legion. For more than 100 years, veterans have been strengthening our nation through the American Legion. Through programs that help our nation's youth become tomorrow's leaders. by keeping the spirit of our forefathers alive and well, and by helping veterans receive the benefits they earned through their service. The American Legion will be there for the next 100 years. Learn more about how we're helping in your community at legion.org.
When our veterans came home from serving their country, the American Legion helped them with the GI Bill to get a head start. When they came home from Vietnam, we helped those affected by Agent Orange to get care and compensation. Now, a new generation is dealing with their own challenges. Every day, 22 veterans who put their lives on the line for our country came home and took their own. As it has for over 100 years, the American Legion continues to advocate for our veterans, so when they leave service, there's a place for them to go to continue serving and, when needed, to get help.
Well, here we go at the bottom of the first inning, and for Bristol, they'll send up Austin Brown, the right fielder, bat first. Adam Karen will bat second. Andrew Lozier will bat third. In the cleanup spot is Ryan Fredette. Jack Kozakowski will bat fifth. Owen Davis will bat sixth. Evan Bouchard will bat seventh. Zach Rinkavage will bat eighth. And Trevor Nohilly will bat ninth. And on the mound for Avon is Matt Leopold. Behind the dish is Emmett Borenstein. Down at third base, Danny Bai. Christian Boudreau is at short. Luke Coppin at second. Nick Amatuli's at first. Out in left field's Tyler Bonney. Max Rajas in center field. And over there in right field, just finishing up his warm-ups with another player down the right field line, is Tyler Nyberg. Well, down there at Meriden Seppa Field, yesterday Madison defeated Westport by a score of 2-1. Danbury downed Hamden 10-0. Wallingford nipped Trumbull 2-1, and Newington downed Meriden by a score of 3-2. And Meriden was another team that was expected. We thought they'd go a little bit deeper in this tournament. So right now, starting at 4 o'clock, down there at Seppa Field is Newington against Madison. Danbury against Wallingford is going to be, Danbury-Wallingford, the 4 o'clock game. Newington-Madison will be the 7 o'clock game down there in Seppa Field in Meriden, Connecticut. Well, right here, we're in the bottom of the first inning. If you just joined us, this is a 7th seed Avon against 3rd seed Bristol. First pitch is fly to center field, and chasing it back is Raha. Circles around and catches it with his right hand. So 1 up, 1 down here on the first pitch. Adam Karen, the first baseman, comes up to bat.
First baseman, number 12, Adam Karen.
Brown, as we said, it was a threat to bunt. That's what got them going in their game against South Windsor. Obviously elected not to bunt there. Man, there's a strike. Yesterday evening was a game broadcast here on Sporting News between Middletown and Norwich. Middletown won a good one in a pitcher's duel by the score of 2-0. Star of that game, the starting pitcher and winning pitcher, Tiernan Powers, who also pitched in the first game in relief. And here's the 1-1. That one's fouled back, so it's 1-2 now to the right-handed hitting Adam Karen. Both pitchers in that Middletown-Norwich game pitched very well. Elliot Johnson was the starter and loser for there. There's a ground ball, one hopper to the second baseman Coppin. He throws to first to Imatuli for the out. So 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the first. As we said yesterday, in Norwich's Elliot Johnson took the loss. He didn't pitch badly, only gave up 2 runs, spread out 5 hits, but all of them were in 1 inning. 4 of them were in the fateful 5th inning where Middletown got their 2 runs. Next game, we'll see the number 1 seed Waterford play. As there's a pitch up high, ball 1 to Andrew Lozier. And there's a strike. Lozier in that first game that they played against South Windsor really bombed 3 hits in that game. There's a foul ball. That'll be out of play. So Lozier's in a hole at 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a high fly ball Out into right center, the right fielder Nyberg makes the catch to end the inning. So for 3 up and 3 down for Bristol in the bottom of the first inning. We'll be right back with the top of the second inning after these important messages from the American Legion.
We were there of our forefathers of 100.
Well, sorry about that. Our stream keeps going in and out. We're back again, and that one's the first batter for Avon. In the top of the second inning, hit a soft liner to second base and caught by Andrew Lozier. Stepping up to the plate now is Matt Leopold. We have no score, top of the second inning. Curveball is down low. Sometimes the stream goes down, sometimes it comes up. And we're trying to get the best stream we can here from Rotary Field in South Windsor. There's a ground ball to third. Taking the 2 hoppers, Rinkavich throws over to Karen for the out. So 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the second inning. And it brings up Luke Coppin, the second baseman. Coppin with those striped stretch socks. The powder blue shirts with white sleeves and white pants does Avon, as you can see. There's a curveball for a strike. Bristol in their traditional red shirts with white pants. And here's the 0-1. Fastball right at the knees, strike 2. There's a pitch. Ooh, that was awful close. That one looked almost better than the last one. Then again, we have a down angle look at the home plate from up here in the press box here. And there's a bloop over and caught by the first baseman, Adam Karen. Just sort of a slow swing out there. Hit a soft liner. As Avon goes down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We completed 1.5 innings here from Rotary Field in South Windsor. To score remains 0-0.
The strength of our country hasn't just been won on the battlefield. It's won every day in our communities when we come together in our toughest times. For over 100 years, the American Legion has been strengthening communities by providing life-saving help and support to our veterans and neighbors during our nation's toughest times.
It's what the Legion's all about.
We are the American Legion, veterans strengthening America. To learn how you can help, visit legion.org.
When our veterans came home from serving their country, the American Legion helped them with the GI Bill to get a head start. When they came home from Vietnam, we helped those affected by Agent Orange to get care and compensation. Now, a new generation is dealing with their own challenges. Every day, 22 veterans who put their lives on the line for our country came home and took their own. As it has for over 100 years, the American Legion continues to advocate for our veterans, so when they leave service, there's a place for them to go to continue serving and, when needed, to get help.
Now, welcome back to Rotary Field. Bottom of the second inning, leading off for Bristol. It's Ryan Fredette, the center fielder. And there's the first pitch. The curveball. That one's blooped out into the fair ground, right in front of the catcher. He makes the easy toss to first. So first pitch, and he swings at it and grounds that little dribbler out in front of home plate. Scored that one 2-3, if you like to do that kind of thing in a scorebook. Jack Kozakowski, the designated hitter for Bristol, comes up now. As we said, each of these teams had to play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it's their third game in 2-3 days, and there's a swing and a miss and a high who had a bye in their first game. So they were able to preserve some pitching. There's a fastball right on the outside part of the plate. So it's now 0-2 to Jack Kozakowski. Hard fastball right there, right at the knees, strike 3. First strikeout of the game for Leopold.
Number 2, Owen Davis.
Owen Davis steps in from the left-hand side. 3 left-handed batters in this lineup for Bristol. First pitch curve, nips the outside corner. That was a slow one. And Davis, there's a fastball low in the dirt, so it's 1-1. Pitchers have a maximum amount of pitches they can throw in any one day of 105. There's a pop-up into shallow center field. Raha circles around it and makes the one-handed catch to retire the side. So 6 up, 6 down so far here today for Bristol. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base again. We'll be back at the top of the 3rd inning as this game's moving along here on SportingNewsCT.com.
When our veterans came home from serving their country, the American Legion helped them with the GI Bill to get a head start. When they came home from Vietnam, we helped those affected by Agent Orange to get care and compensation. Now, a new generation is dealing with their own challenges. Every day, 22 veterans who put their lives on the line for our country came home and took their own. As it has for over 100 years, the American Legion continues to advocate for our veterans, so when they leave service, there's a place for them to go to continue serving and, when needed, to get help.
The strength of our country hasn't just been won on the battlefield. It's won every day in our communities when we come together in our toughest times. For over 100 years, the American Legion has been strengthening communities by providing life-saving help and support to our veterans and neighbors during our nation's toughest times.
It's what the Legion's all about.
We are the American Legion, veterans strengthening America. To learn how you can help, visit legion.org.
Back here at Rotary Field, we're scoreless after 2 full innings between Avon and Bristol. For Avon here, they'll have the 8-9 batters come up, and then they'll flip the scorebook over to their leadoff batter. The 8 batters, Nick Amatuli, the first baseman, Tyler Nyberg, the right fielder. Neither team has gotten a hit so far in this game, and only 1 base runner. As Max Raha walked in the top of the first, but was stranded at third base. As we said, this Bristol team had won their game yesterday by the score of 2-1. On the prior game, they had beaten South Windsor soundly in a 14-hit attack by the score of 9-2. And in that game, the winning pitcher was Andrew Lozier, who threw 79 pitches, so they took him out at an opportune time, so presumably he could pitch either in the semifinals of this, or the finals, rather, of this North Regional, which is really the overall semifinals, which we play tomorrow night. So Amatuli swings from the right side. Takes the first pitch curveball down low. Big burly right-hand batter for this Avon team. And he takes a strike. Amatuli not on, oh there he is. He's went to Avon. He graduated from Avon High School and gets hit by a pitch. So Amatuli is aboard. Second base runner of the game for Avon with 1 out, with nobody out. Brings up Tyler Nyberg. And so Bouchard now to go to the stretch for the second time. Short lead at first by Amatuli. See if Nyberg squares to bunt it all. There's a throw back to first, and diving back into first base is Amatuli. Bouchard checks the runner again, and he looks back at home plate. And he kicks and deals. There's pop foul straight back over the top of the press box here. Great arena for baseball up here at Rotary Field in South Windsor. They have a great concession stand down below us. The volunteers working that do really well. They have that big batting facility right next to us. There's a ground ball towards third, and they're going to go to first. And they get the out. So Rinkavage looked at second and perhaps didn't think the second baseman was there in time, so doesn't go to get the force at second and instead throws to first. So a fielder's choice puts Amatuli in scoring position. Brings up Tyler Bonney, who flied out to right field his first time up. Outfielders not playing all that deep. They are wooden bats here, so it's a little bit harder to drive the ball. You have to hit it really well on the sweet spot. Here's the first pitch, curveball down low. As Amatuli strides off second base. Bouchard checks the runner and now deals. Ground ball towards first. That'll be foul ball down a right field line. Count evens at 1 ball apiece. 1 ball, 1 strike. To Tyler Bonney. Tyler goes to Plainville High School. He graduated this year, 5'10", 155-pounder. So I guess Plainville did not have a team this year, as they normally do. There's a fastball up high. Curveball in the dirt, blocked well by Davis. Now it's 3 balls, 1 strike to the leadoff hitter, Tyler Bonney. Line drive, base hit to right, but Amatuli looks like he's going to be held up at third base. First hit of the game as Bonney drives it into right field between that first and second baseman. So Avon now has runners at the corners, so now it becomes even more important. They didn't get the lead runner on that last ground ball. So with 1 out, Raha steps in. The question is, what's the strategy now? Bristol, Avon, I don't know them as well as I know Bristol. But if they may very well throw through, because Amatuli does not look like that he is a speedster, so to speak, but you never know. Get a lot of athletically inclined guys that may be big, but they're athletically inclined. Here's the throw. They're throwing through, and they got him. And Amatuli holds at third. So Bonney is out stealing. As Amatuli now straddles down third base. There's a bloop out into left, but playing shallow is the left fielder Nohilly, and that ends the threat. That one a F7 by Raha to end it. That'll do it here for Avon in the top of the third. They threaten. They have no runs on 1 hit, no errors. They leave 1 runner on base. That's their second runner left on base here today. We'll be right back at the bottom of the third after this important message from the American Legion.
We were there when our nation called us to serve. We were there to write the original GI Bill and get it signed into law. When a community found itself in the middle of a natural disaster. When tragedy struck at a local school. For veterans who suffered from toxic exposure and needed a voice on Capitol Hill. And we're still serving as part of the American Legion. For more than 100 years, veterans have been strengthening our nation through the American Legion. through programs that help our nation's youth become tomorrow's leaders, by keeping the spirit of our forefathers alive and well, and by helping veterans receive the benefits they earned through their service. The American Legion will be there for the next 100 years. Learn more about how we're helping in your community at legion.org.
Well, back here at Rotary Field, Avon had their biggest threat of the afternoon as Nick Amatuli was hit by a pitch, got to second on a fielder's choice, got over to third on a base hit, but they couldn't drive him in as Bouchard was able to get Raha to fly to left to end the threat. So we'll go to the bottom of the third, and we're scoreless as Evan Bouchard will lead it off, the shortstop.
Leading off for Bristol, the shortstop, number 5, Evan Bouchard.
Yeah, there's a good hard fastball right at the letters. And it's 0-1 now to Bouchard. Yeah, there's a ball in the dirt, so it's even at 1-1. Well, Bristol's general manager, Paul LaFleur, is here today. Normally he would be up in Fitton Field in that Northeast Regional, but since Bristol's in it, he's still here. There's a fly ball into foul ground, a lot of it. Hustling hard is Amatuli and the right fielder, Nyberg, check that. But neither can get to it. Good hustle by both those young men. Well, the 4 pillars of the American Legion are strong national security, mentoring youth, taking care of veterans, and promoting patriotism as well as honor. And they do a lot more than just support American Legion baseball. This year, they also gave out 2 scholarships in Connecticut, one given out by the state board and another one by the national board. It was Tyler Jones who got it, the state scholarship, and Tyler Martin got it on the national level. Here's the 1-2. There's a high fly ball to center field. Raha has to go back, but the speedy center fielder makes the catch. So 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the third.
Now batting the third baseman, number 4, Zach Rinkovich.
There's a high fastball. It's a ball 1. Leopold is retired every batter he's faced so far today. And there's a ground ball to third. Good backhand by Bai. Long throw to first. Nice tag by Amatuli. Amatuli hung on to that one as the throw came up the line. And what a great play by that first baseman. As he had to come up the line, catch the ball, and then sweep the tag. And another great play by Bai as he had to backhand it deep at third base box and get it across. So, and now Coach LaPenta wants to check it, and Bindis is like, umpire Bindis is telling him that's my call. I saw him tag him, and that's it. So I don't know what the discussion is, but it's like unless he's saying he blocked the lane or something, right? But in any event, runner's out. No, the batter's out.
Now batting the left fielder, number 1, Trevor Nohilly.
So Trevor Nohilly comes up to the plate now. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. In his quarterfinal round matchup in the Connecticut American Legion Baseball Tournament. Here's the ball up high. Nohilly, one of the 4 batters that Bristol has that bat from the left side. There is a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike now with 2 outs. well, I'm sorry, that was 1-1, so now that's strike 2. And there's a foul ball, so it's 2-2 in any event. Multicolored wooden bat up there. So he has a yellow, optic green, yellow, whatever you want to call it, handle. And there's a pitch, and it's going to be a base hit to right field. Good piece of hitting that time. They're going to throw to first. Is not in time. Great catch by Matuli to save an errant throw. As that one was fisted into right field by Nohilly. So he gets the first hit of the game for Bristol. With 2 outs, let's see if this Bristol team is usually pretty aggressive. The leadoff batter, Austin Brown, always a threat to bunt, steps in. He flied to center his first time up. Leopold throws to first, not in time. There is a strike on the outside part of the plate. It looks like they're going to have the shortstop cover, so he's taking a runner goes. Great jump by Nohilly. They won't have much of a chance to get him. He was off and going long before that foot went up in the air. But he timed it perfect and stole second base. So now it's 1 ball, 1 strike now. It's for the first time today, Bristol has a runner in scoring position. Count is 1-1 to Brown. Here's the pitch. Fly ball down the left field line. That'll be out of play. What a beautiful facilities up here at Rotary Field in South Windsor. They have a huge batting cage building with a bunch of cages inside of it just off to our right behind the first base dugout. It was built here not too long ago. I wish I had that everywhere I coached. Here's the pitch, and that one's going to be popped up, foul out of play again over the Bristol dugout. Bounce out of play. Beautiful park, as we said. You can see all the trees out there in center field, giving a good backdrop for hitters. Decent contingent of fans coming all the way up here to South Windsor. There'll be more of them after 5 o'clock, I'm sure, as people get out of work. And he checks the runner, now steps off. Avon's head coach, Miles Berenstein. There's a ground ball to first. And Amatuli gets it and steps on the bag for the final out. Well, Bristol threatened here in the bottom of the third. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. They leave 1 runner on base. We'll be right back. The top of the 4th. No score here between Avon and Bristol.
When our veterans came home from serving their country, the American Legion helped them with the GI Bill to get a head start. When they came home from Vietnam, we helped those affected by Agent Orange to get care and compensation. Now, a new generation is dealing with their own challenges. Every day, 22 veterans who put their lives on the line for our country came home and took their own. As it has for over 100 years, the American Legion continues to advocate for our veterans, so when they leave service, there's a place for them to go to continue serving and, when needed, to get help. When our veterans came home from serving their country, the American Legion helped them with the GI Bill to get a head start. When they came home from Vietnam, we helped those affected by Agent Orange to get care and compensation. Now, a new generation is dealing with their own challenges. Every day, 22 veterans who put their lives on the line for our country came home and took their own. As it has for over 100 years, the American Legion continues to advocate for our veterans, so when they leave service, there's a place for them to go to continue serving and, when needed, to get help.
Well, back here at Rotary Field in South Windsor, Connecticut, this is the American Legion's North Region tournament of the Connecticut State Tournament. It's a single elimination tournament this year for the first time, or at least first time in a long time. They've had a single elimination tournament. Games were played Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Today's Thursday. So the first round was, they played 3 games. This will be the third game, rather, in 3 days, except for Waterford. They had the bye. Down in the southern section, there were 2 byes down in there, so a little bit different scenario there. As today, down in the southern section. Let's check that out, see who's playing down there. It's Madison Newington at 7 tonight. And Madison is the, let me see, they were the seeded first in that section. And Newington was seeded 12th. Newington had defeated Stanford 5-1. Stanford usually has a great program down there, so that's an upset. There's the first pitch now to Christian Bordeaux is a strike. Another curve. It's a high fly ball into right field. The ball seems to go up and stay there, but a hustling Boudreau sprints around the base paths just in case. So 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the 4th. Brings up Emmett Bornstein, the catcher, struck out looking his first time up. Bornstein, 6'1", 180-pounder out of Avon High School. Fastball in there on the inside part of the plate. Ground ball to second base. And Lozier throws a strike to first base to Adam Karen. 2 up, 2 down here, top of the 4th. Bouchard pitching very well so far, as is his opponent, Matt Leopold. Danny Bay steps up. He lined to second first time up. He comes up with that Mizuno black wooden bat. Well, up there at Fitton Field in Worcester, Massachusetts, NCL will be playing the second half of a doubleheader this evening. They won their first game over New Hampshire by a score of 6-0 yesterday morning or at mid-afternoon. There's a ball down low, so it's 2-0 now to Danny Bay, or Bay, however you pronounce it. We'll stick with Bay. And here's the 2-0. It's in there for strike 1, 2-1. There's a fastball on the inside part of the plate. Bay shakes his head as if to say he didn't think it was that, but 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Curveball is a line shot right at the third baseman. So Bay has hit the ball on the screws, so to speak, and baseball can be unforgiving in that manner. As he hit it to second once, now he lined it to third. Look out shortstop next time he's up. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We're halfway through here at Rotary Field in South Windsor. Score remains Avon 0 and Bristol 0.
Reminder to fans, we have a huge selection of food in our
When our veterans came home from serving their country, the American Legion helped them with the GI Bill to get a head start. When they came home from Vietnam, we helped those affected by Agent Orange to get care and compensation. Now, a new generation is dealing with their own challenges. Every day, 22 veterans who put their lives on the line for our country came home and took their own. As it has for over 100 years, the American Legion continues to advocate for our veterans, so when they leave service, there's a place for them to go to continue serving and, when needed, to get help.
The strength of our country hasn't just been won on the battlefield. It's won every day in our communities when we come together in our toughest times. For over 100 years, the American Legion has been strengthening communities by providing life-saving help and support to our veterans and neighbors during our nation's toughest times.
It's what the Legion's all about.
We are the American Legion, Veterans Strengthening America. To learn how you can help, visit legion.org.
All right, back here at Rotary Field in South Windsor, Connecticut. The score remains Avon 0, Bristol 0. And we're moving on to the bottom of the 4th in this pitcher's duel. For Bristol, they'll send up the 2-3-4 hitters. That's Karen Lozier and Fredette. Karen had grounded out to second his last time up. Well, most of the players from this Bristol team are either come from Bristol Central, Bristol Eastern, one from St. Paul. One goes to the University of Bridgeport, and one goes to Nichols College. One goes to the University of Hartford. So they have a few college players here for this Bristol team. Great program at Bristol. Beautiful ballpark as well. So makes it all that much more enjoyable to watch them and broadcast games from there. We have some activity now in the Avon bullpen. So this whole pitch count thing may very well impact this game, where the games are played day after day after day. There's Leopold. Throws a fastball. Took a little off that pitch, and fouling it straight back. You never know. They could be warming up just to go in as subs, as one of them does not have a catcher's mitt on. There's a pitch outside, so it's 1-1. Now Bouchard steps off. I'm sorry, Leopold. Yeah, the 1-1. Sliced foul down the right field line towards the guys that are down there warming up. And they retrieve the ball and toss it back in. Got to get those baseballs back. They go about, what, $8 a piece? I like the Vanderbilt coach's philosophy about that. He says, you wouldn't drop $8 on the field, so secure the baseball. There's a ground ball to the third baseman by. Long throw. Nice stretch by Amatuli. So 1 up, 1 down here at the bottom of the fourth brings up Andrew Lozier. Well, his philosophy is protect the baseball and secure the baseball. You wouldn't leave $8 on the field and not pick it up. So they want the ball to be secured on defense. Good philosophy. Lozier flied to right his first time up. And there's a hard smash foul down the right field line. The ball dies in the grass over there in foul grounds. Field looks in very, very good shape for this time of year. And there's a ball down low, so it's 1-1. You can see all of those sponsorship banners all along the outfield fence. And there's a ball down low. They should have some kind of a prize or something. Like if you hit the Subway sign, you get like a free couple of subs. That's a bomb out there, probably about $3.90, $3.80 or so. Here's the pitch. Ground ball foul towards the Avon dugout. See the signs along the right field fence. A car wash. Camp Bow Wow. Here's a pitch. Just misses. Up and in. Leopold, the 3-2 pitch is up high, ball 4. First walk of the game for Leopold.
Now batting the center fielder, number 8, Ryan Fredette.
Brings up Fredette, who grounded to the catcher on a little bit of a chopper right in front of home plate up the first baseline. See if they run Lozier. Lozier's got some speed. And there's the ball up high. There's a strike. 1-1 now to Fredette. There's a slide step, and it's fouled off to the right side. And here's the 1-2 now as Leopold looks in, comes set. Slide steps again, throws a fastball up high, and that one comes just over the top of the backstop here and ends up on the roof of this press box. Ball will go over the top Got to be careful if you're in that line waiting for a hot dog. You never know what comes down above you. Ooh, he just stepped off quickly, and the runner flinched, so maybe he was going on that one. And the throw over to first is not in time. Right fielder ought to think about backing up that play. You never know. There's a lot of foul ground there in right field. There's a line drive base hit into right, over the head of the second baseman. And running and stopping at second base will be Lozier. No chance to go to third. So Fredette gets a hit, second of the game for Bristol.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 11,
Jack Kozakowski comes up, who struck out looking his last time up. So Bristol has a runner on second now for the second time today. Probably their biggest threat with two men on. Amatuli comes up on the edge of the grass at first base. Over at third, by is about even with the bag. Middle infielders are at double play depth. Here's the pitch. Good block by the catcher, Borenstein, as that first pitch goes down low and outside. Outfield basically straight away. Here's the pitch. Took a little off that, maybe a changeup, a swing and a miss. It's 1-1 now. To the number 5 batter in the order, Kozakowski. There's the 1-1. Just misses outside. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 to Kozakowski. As we said before, Paul LaFleur, the general manager of Bristol. Head coach is Jerry LaPenta. Has been there for a number of years. Great coaching staff. He's assisted by Rick Lemke, Bill Mason, Steve Warkowski, and Corey Fredette. There's a foul ball on the right field line, out of play. And their intern is Emily Thompson. So they have like a major league coaching staff, does Bristol. For Avon, their head coach Miles Borenstein, as I said. Also head coach listed is Jake Coppin. There's a pop-up in foul ground. That one's going to be out of play. It's Kozakowski now. Faces a 2-ball, 2-strike count. And here's the 2-2. It's up high for ball 3 now. And let's see if LaPenta sends the runners. He has a tendency to do that sometimes. 3-2, 1 out. As now time is called. As LaPenta calls down his batter. Maybe he didn't see the sign. All right. He might say, can you hit with the runners rowing? Concentrate harder. Fastball, strike 3 called on the outside part on the plate. Kozakowski caught looking at that outside pitch again. So whatever LaPenta told him, it certainly wasn't that. As there's 2 outs now with 2 runners on.
Number 2, Owen Davis.
Davis steps in, the big left-handed batter and catcher for this Bristol team. Now, throw to second and not in time. Because that was one of those step-off whirls. Tough one. You got to throw across the side of your body, though, as you step back. And you don't have your front foot pointing towards the base. There's a pitch. It's pop foul out of play right behind us. Davis had a big booming triple in their game against South Windsor. There's a ball up high, so he could pound the baseball into that right center gap, which is a big space out there. It's like scan out there to see there's a big gap between that center fielder's playing straight away and the right fielder's playing normal for a right-handed batter. Leopold comes set. And the pitch. Swing and a cut on it. He misses it, but he tipped it into the catcher's mitt, so it's 1-2 now. So with 2 outs, his Bristol threat is 1 pitch away from being quashed. Swing and a miss. He does it. Leopold gives himself pumps his arm, and he gets emotional on that one. As he strikes out 2 batters to get out of the threat. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, but 2 runners left on base. That's the second and third runners left on base here today. We're going to the top of the 5th inning. No score here at Rotary Field in South Windsor, Connecticut, between Avon and Bristol.
We were there when our nation called us to serve. We were there to write the original GI Bill and get it signed into law. When a community found itself in the middle of a natural disaster. When tragedy struck at a local school. For veterans who suffered from toxic exposure and needed a voice on Capitol Hill. And we're still serving as part of the American Legion. For more than 100 years, veterans have been strengthening our nation through the American Legion. Through programs that help our nation's youth become tomorrow's leaders. By keeping the spirit of our forefathers alive and well. And by helping veterans receive the benefits they earned through their service. The American Legion will be there for the next 100 years. Learn more about how we're helping in your community at legion.org.
Well, here we go to the top of the 5th inning. We're still scoreless here between Avon and Bristol in this quarterfinal round game of the Connecticut American Legion tournament to determine who is the Connecticut state champion. Kind of unusual this year, double elimination tournament. They already had it to determine the representative to the Northeast Regional. NCL won that one, downing Fairfield in the final game by a score of 3-0. NCL had won their first 3 games and then lost the game the night before their final game. So Fairfield had to come all the way back as they lost their first game in the tournament, but crawled their way back and clawed their way back to get to that final game, but were down by NCL in the final one. So NCL got the right to represent Connecticut, but they will not be the crowned Connecticut state champion. But then again, they get to play in the Northeast Regional Tournament with a chance to go to Shelby, North Carolina, in the American Legion World Series. Well, and they have to, when they go up there in that Northeast Regional, they have to pack their clothes because they leave directly from there if they should win that tournament. So they have to pack enough so that they can stay for a week down there in Shelby. Brings up Matt Leopold, the pitcher, just got that strikeout. Curveball, line drive. What a great play by the third baseman, Rinkavage, as he dives in midair and catches that ball. So another L5 right to the third baseman, Rinkavage. The last one was Danny Buys. This one's Matt Leopold's. And with 1 out, up comes Luke Coppin, who lined out to the first baseman his first time up. So that certainly robbed Leopold of a hit. Cut on and missed, 0-1. The sun creeps out a little bit, I believe, behind us somewhere as everything brightened up a bit. There's a line drive right at the left fielder. So 2 balls in a row hit right on the button. And that's baseball. Be very unforgiving. You can get a bloop single or a slow roller and get on base, but you can hit it right on the money. And you hit it right at somebody and they just catch it. Brings up Nick Amatuli, who was hit by a pitch his first time up. Big right-hander steps into the batter's box. Way outside for ball 1. There's a bloop out to the first baseman. It'll be an easy play for Karen in foul ground. It just didn't get enough of the wooden bat on it to make any damage. So 3 up, 3 down here for Avon in the top of the 5th. They're stretching here at Rotary Field in South Windsor. The score remains Avon 0, Bristol 0. We'll be right back with more Connecticut American Legion baseball action.
We were there when our nation called us to serve. We were there to write the original GI Bill and get it signed into law. When a community found itself in the middle of a natural disaster. When tragedy struck at a local school. For veterans who suffered from toxic exposure and needed a voice on Capitol Hill. And we're still serving as part of the American Legion. For more than 100 years, veterans have been strengthening our nation through the American Legion. Through programs that help our nation's youth become tomorrow's leaders. By keeping the spirit of our forefathers alive and well. And by helping veterans receive the benefits they earned through their service. The American Legion will be there for the next 100 years. Learn more about how we're helping in your community at legion.org.
Well, here we go. Bottom of the 5th inning. Bristol now will send up their 7, 8, 9 batters in an attempt to try to get a lead in this game. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base for Avon. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 3 left on base for Bristol. Bristol, the furthest they've gotten is a runner on second base. For Avon, they've gotten a runner on third. And they were unable to score him. Matt Leopold on the mound. He's given up, as he said, wait a minute, there's 2 hits there, so that's 2 hits for Bristol. Check that. Bristol leads the hitting game by 1 hit. Leopold has struck out 1 and has only walked 1. On the flip side, Bouchard has given up 1 hit, walked 1, and hit 1. And Bouchard steps in. He flied to center his first time up.
Shortstop number 5, Evan Bouchard.
And here's the pitch. Chop foul towards the Bristol dugout on the third base side. And here's the 0-1. Curveball outside. As Leopold doctors the mound a little bit. And here's the 1-1. Popped up, and that one's going to be tough, but the catcher, Borenstein, spots it as he's going to come back, and he makes the catch. Nice play by Bouchard. I'm sorry, by Borenstein. As Bouchard is down. Brings up Zach Ringcavage, who made that great play the last inning.
Third baseman number 4, Zach Ringcavage.
As he steps up. There's a strike. As we said, all wooden bats here in the Connecticut American Legion play. And don't think those are cheaper than aluminum sometimes. Some of them are over $100. There's a ball outside, so it's 1-1. And the pitch popped up. Another one for the catcher as he circles around and makes the catch. 2 in a row by the catcher. Haven't seen that in a long time. Brings up Trevor Nohilly.
Now batting left fielder number 1, Trevor Nohilly.
As Leopold cruises along. He's only had a few blips on his pitching screen so far. Fastball just misses outside. Another one goes out, so it's 2-0. Don't want to walk the number 9 guy, especially since No Hill, he already stole a base here this afternoon. Or should I say this evening, as it's now past 5 o'clock. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one's in for a strike. Good 2-0, not really a pitch you could pull. There's a fly ball to right field. The ball's hit well, going back, and making the one-handed grab on the run is Tyler Nyberg. No Hill, he drove it a long way, but a big ballpark here. You know, a lot of room, and give a lot of credit to Nyberg as he makes that catch. Well, no runs, no hits, no errors for Bristol here in the bottom of the 5th. We're going to the 6th. We're still scoreless.
The strength of our country hasn't just been won on the battlefield. It's won every day in our communities when we come together in our toughest times. For over 100 years, the American Legion has been strengthening communities by providing life-saving help and support to our veterans and neighbors during our nation's toughest times.
It's what the Legion's all about.
We are the American Legion, veterans strengthening America. To learn how you can help, visit legion.org.
When our veterans came home from serving their country, the American Legion helped them with the GI Bill to get a head start. When they came home from Vietnam, we helped those affected by Agent Orange to get care and compensation. Now, a new generation is dealing with their own challenges. Every day, 22 veterans who put their lives on the line for our country came home and took their own. As it has for over 100 years, the American Legion continues to advocate for our veterans, so when they leave service, there's a place for them to go to continue serving and, when needed, to get help.
Well, we've got a great pitcher's duel going on here from Rotary Field in South Windsor between Avon and Bristol. Matt Bouchard and Matt Leopold basically matching each other of not giving up any runs and giving up very few hits. Avon's only got 1 and Bristol's got 2. Number 9 hitter Tyler Nyberg will come up now for Avon. Surprised to see nobody has tried to bunt yet on either team. Austin Brown for Bristol got his team going with a bunt back in that first game they had against South Windsor.
Right fielder, number 9, Tyler Nyberg.
Maybe he'll think about it next time up. Nyberg grounded to third his first time up. Looked like he showed bunt a little bit. Or at least he's pulled in Rinkavage to think about it. This is ball 1. Now even with the first base bag is Karen. There's a ground ball between, there it is, another great play. There's, he throws it on the ground, but a good one-hopper right to Karen makes the play. So Rinkavage makes another good play. This one after he was brought in on the fake bunt. Third assist of the day for Rinkavage. Surround that one with 2 putouts on line drives. He's having himself a great defensive day, and that brings up the top of the order, and Tyler Bonney's got the only hit for Avon. He also flied to right. Curveball in there for strike 1. So some great defense here tonight has resulted in the 0-0 score. It puts a little bit more on it. That one's fouled down the right field line. It's 0-2 now to Tyler Bonney. Strike 3. That one looked like it tailed a little out. He didn't like it. It's a difficult angle for an umpire with a left-handed batter up. He's on the inside part of the right shoulder, rather, of the catcher, and he has to see that angle away. Second strikeout of the day for Bouchard. brings up Raha, who walked, stole a base, and flied to the left. Curveball's high. Rinkavich still up on the edge of the grass at third. Karen back at first base. Sliced foul over the top of the dugout of Bristol. And there's a strike. So it's 1-2 now, with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Bristol has the hammer, as they call it, in the bottom of the 7th. Ground ball back to the mound, and Bouchard snags it and tosses it to Karen for the final out of the inning. That'll do it for Avon here in the top of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. We're still scoreless.
We were there when our nation called us to serve. We were there to write the original GI Bill and get it signed into law. When a community found itself in the middle of a natural disaster. When tragedy struck at a local school. For veterans who suffered from toxic exposure and needed a voice on Capitol Hill. And we're still serving as part of the American Legion. For more than 100 years, veterans have been strengthening our nation through the American Legion. Through programs that help our nation's youth become tomorrow's leaders. By keeping the spirit of our forefathers alive and well. And by helping veterans receive the benefits they earned through their service. The American Legion will be there for the next 100 years. Learn more about how we're helping in your community at legion.org.
When our veterans came home from serving their country, the American Legion helped them with the GI Bill to get a head start. When they came home from Vietnam, we helped those affected by Agent Orange to get care and compensation. Now, a new generation is dealing with their own challenges. Every day, 22 veterans who put their lives on the line for our country came home and took their own. As it has for over 100 years, the American Legion continues to advocate for our veterans, so when they leave service, there's a place for them to go to continue serving and, when needed, to get help.
Back here at Rotary Field in South Windsor, we're going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Bristol will have their best chance of success here against Matt Leopold. They have the top of the order up. Let's see if they can get something going here. Austin Brown fly to center and grounded out to first. And Brown always a threat to bunt from the left side. He did it very successfully against South Windsor in their opening round game.
Number 6, Austin Brown.
As you can hear, the Bristol bench starts to give some chatter. Some enthusiasm. He's now the third baseman's up about 2 or 3 steps, so he's looking for that bunt. First pitch is low for a ball. Still a tough to get him anyway, even if you are a little bit up. It's grass, and he hits it shallow enough and places it right, he'll still be on. He does show it, then takes a strike. So the ball is strike 1 and ball 1 now, so it's even, as they say. Pops it up in the infield. That one's going to be to the shortstop, Bouchard. Or Boudreau, rather. Sorry about that. Bouchard is the shortstop for Bristol. So Boudreau makes that catch over its short. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th.
Now batting first baseman number 12, Adam Karen.
There's Leopold pitching very well. Karen is grounded to second, grounded to third. Takes the first pitch curve, bloops it out to right center. Running, and catching it is the speedy Max Raha. The left-handed thrower, he covers a lot of space out there in right center and left center. And he makes that catch. Brings up Andrew Lozier, who's walked and flied to right. Here's the pitch. It's outside for a ball. It's a high fly ball into right field. Calling him off is Tyler Nyberg, calls off Raha, and he makes the catch. So a lot of fly balls here today by both teams. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Seems like a broken record. We're going to the top of the 7th inning here from Rotary Field. We're still scoreless.
We were there when our nation called us to serve. We were there to write the original GI Bill and get it signed into law. When a community found itself in the middle of a natural disaster. When tragedy struck at a local school. For veterans who suffered from toxic exposure and needed a voice on Capitol Hill. And we're still serving as part of the American Legion. For more than 100 years, veterans have been strengthening our nation through the American Legion. Through programs that help our nation's youth become tomorrow's leaders. By keeping the spirit of our forefathers alive and well. And by helping veterans receive the benefits they earned through their service. The American Legion will be there for the next 100 years. Learn more about how we're helping in your community at legion.org.
Well, up there at Fitton Field in Worcester, Mass, NCL will be playing at 7 o'clock against the host team, Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, who defeated Essex Junction, Vermont last night by the score of 10-0. Other scores was Hamburg, New York defeated Newport, Rhode Island 5-1 in the opening round as Windsor Locks defeated Portsmouth, New Hampshire 6-0. Beverly, Mass, rolling again, defeated Bangor, Maine 12-0. And an earlier game today, we'll get that score in a second. Well, right now, we have the 3-batter, Christian Boudreau. He looks bunt, takes ball 1 here in the top of the 7th. As Old Town, Maine defeated Newport, Rhode Island today, lost to Rhode Island today by a score of 5-2. So Maine is eliminated. It's the first elimination up in the tournament. Curveball in the dirt, blocked well by Owen Davis. There's the 2-1 pitch to Boudreau. Up high, ball 3. As Bouchard now in danger of walking the leadoff hitter. See if he's taken all the way. There's a strike, so he was. Now the count is full at 3 balls, 2 strikes to Boudreau. Ball down low, so Boudreau is aboard with a walk. Second walk of the game for Bouchard here. Now there's a leadoff walk, and that's going to bring out Coach LaPenta. He's going to want to get them all on the same page with regard to a possible bunt. Strange to have a bunt from the 4-hitter, but hits have been such at a premium today. You never know. No runs, only 1 hit by Avon. Committed no errors, left 2 on base. For Bristol, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, left 3 on base. As now Coach LaPenta goes off. The winner moves on to the semifinals. The loser, their season is over. It's a single elimination tournament. This one's tougher than the high school tournament here in Connecticut. Because at least in the high school tournament, you get a day of rest after every game, at least one day, except after the first and second rounds anyway. And they're holding the runner on at first, obviously, and they're anchoring on the right side, first base side, and Rinkavich looking for the bunt on the third base side. Second baseman's in a position to rotate. after the ball's bunted, if it is. There's a curveball in there for a strike, so not looking to bunt. If it was, a curveball is a good pitch to bunt, but he wasn't looking. He takes strike one with a curve. It's 0-1. And here's a slide step down low. Count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. See if Avon will try something to move these runners along. Playing him to pull in center field is the center fielder Fredette. And the runner goes. There's a hit and run. It's flied out to right. He'll have to hurry. It could be a double play. Here's the throw from the right fielder to first. It's offline. So Avon tried the hit and run. Borenstein hit it to right field, but Boudreau was able to get back. So see if they send Boudreau sooner or later as Danny Bay comes up. He lined the ball twice hard. Once to second, one to third. Well, good idea that time by the Avon coach to get something going with that hit and run. The ball wasn't hit on the ground. It was hit in the air. Bouchard comes set, throws the pitch now. That ball's up high. It's 1-0. See if they try something again. Boudreau was pretty quick on that last one when he was running on that hit and run. He goes, and there's the pitch. It's a strike. The throw to second is not in time. As Boudreau steals second base. It's 1 ball, 1 strike now on the batter. Taking all the way was By. Now they have a runner in scoring position at Boudreau as he straddles off. Big lead at second base. Bouchard comes set now, and here's the pitch. In there for a strike. By doesn't like it. He thinks it's a little outside. It's now 1-2. He'll have to widen his strike zone even more as a hitter. Avon threatens here. Top of the 7th, no score. And here's the 1-2 delivery. He went to second. Now there's the throw. They almost got him. As it looks like, they on the secondary lead, Bouchard spun around and almost had him. So they know, Bouchard knows that he's on his mind. They want to try to cut down any run to home plate on a base hit. And here's the pitch. There's a liner out to left, and that's going to be caught by the left fielder. No-hill, he makes the grab. So now there's 2 outs. Brings up Matt Leopold, who's grounded to third, lined to third. So he's hit the ball to the left side both times. Right fielder out there, Austin Brown, playing pretty shallow. He's going to try to cut off and stop the runner from scoring on a base hit. But there's now 2 outs. Bouchard deals. Blooped foul over the top of the backstop here. It's 0-1 to Matt Leopold, the Avon pitcher. And now they spin and look at second again. They really want to keep Bouchard close. I'm sorry, Boudreau close, so he doesn't score on a base hit. See how it affects Bouchard and his concentration on the batter with 2 outs. Setting up outside is Owen Davis. There's a pop foul down the right field line. That one will go out of play. There is quite a bit of foul ground here at Rotary Field, but that one was way out. So it's 0-2 now to Leopold. Here's a line out into right center. This could be in, and it will drop. And rounding third and coming home is the speedy Chris Boudreau, and an RBI single by Matt Leopold puts Avon on the board and taking the lead with only the second hit of the game by Avon. They now lead by the slim score of 1-0. So a big, big RBI single with 2 strikes on Leopold puts Avon in the lead. And that was out right center, no chance. The ball's in the dirt. The runner looked like a little delayed steal. Here's the throw, and he's in there. So I guess you got to call that a stolen base and a wild pitch, I suppose. The ball in the dirt. As now the Avon bench has come alive. Here's the 1-0. Ground ball to third. Rinkavich has it. He's just going to go to first with it, and Karen makes the grab and touches first. Scored that one a 5-3, but the damage is done. Avon scores 1 run on only 1 hit, no errors. They left 1 runner on base. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 7th inning. Bristol to bring up the 4, 5, 6 batters. Can they tie it, or will Avon move on to the semifinals?
The strength of our country hasn't just been won on the battlefield. It's won every day in our communities when we come together in our toughest times. For over 100 years, the American Legion has been strengthening communities by providing life-saving help and support to our veterans and neighbors during our nation's toughest times.
It's what the Legion's all about.
We are the American Legion, Veterans Strengthening America. To learn how you can help, visit legion.org.
When our veterans came home from serving their country, the American Legion helped them with the GI Bill to get a head start. When they came home from Vietnam, we helped those affected by Agent Orange to get care and compensation. Now, a new generation is dealing with their own challenges. Every day, 22 veterans who put their lives on the line for our country came home and took their own. As it has for over 100 years, the American Legion continues to advocate for our veterans, so when they leave service, there's a place for them to go to continue serving and, when needed, to get help.
Well, as the saying goes, walks can kill you, and in this case, a really difficult one. It's the leadoff walk to Christian Boudreau from Avon. Then he stole second base, and then with 2 outs and 2 strikes, Matt Leopold, the pitcher, ends up getting a base hit in his own. He helps himself by putting his team ahead by the score of 1-0. For Bristol, they'll bring to the plate Ryan Fredette, Jack Kozakowski, and Owen Davis. 1 run on only 2 hits. No errors and 3 left on base for Avon. 0-2-0 for Bristol. They've left 3 on base. So in American Legion play, at least in this tournament, it's only 7 innings. So this is it for Bristol. It's either tie it, win it here in the bottom of the 7th, or your season's over. Right after this, approximately a half hour after this game, I would imagine, will be the second half of this doubleheader here. And that'll be a game between Waterford and Middletown. We saw that Middletown team yesterday, a game broadcast here at Sporting News CT.
Center fielder, number 8.
Some activity now again in the Avon bullpen. And Fredette will come up to the plate. He's got one of the only 2 hits of the afternoon and evening for Bristol. First pitch is in there for a strike. Fredette didn't like it. He thought it was a little high and in. He doesn't get a vote, though, unfortunately. And here's the windup and the pitch. That one's outside. 1-1. Fredette had grounded a little dribbler back in the 2nd inning. They're saying that one just missed outside. So it's 2-1. And he also got a single Here's the 2-1 delivery. Just misses inside, so it's 3-1. And I know now that it's the pitcher warming up down the right field line because they have a catcher out there. And Leopold. 3-1 is up high, ball 4. So as we said in the top of the inning, how walks can kill you is that Avon scored after a leadoff walk. Now Bristol has a leadoff walk. Brings up Jack Kozakowski, who struck out looking twice here today. Oh, it's going to be a pinch hitter, I believe.
Batting for Kozakowski, number 15, Dylan Woodson.
So it brings up Dylan Woodson as the pinch hitter. Dylan is a Bristol Eastern High School graduate this year. We saw him get a walk in that game. He squares the bunt, and he does attempt, and misses it. So it's 0-1 on Woodson. So they were bunting. He was trying to push it to the right side. Is now by is way up on the third baseline. Throw to first is almost wild. Give a lot of credit there to Amatuli, who had a leap for that throw to save that runner, maybe getting all the way to third. And he squares the bunt again. This one's bunted foul behind him, so it's 0-2. Coach LaPenta tells him to relax, and he puts on the bunt sign again, I believe. I'm only guessing here, obviously. And he squares again. This one's bunted fair, so the catcher gets it. He goes to first. So with 2 strikes, Woodson does the job. He gets the sack bunt scored at 1-3 sack. So now the tying run for Bristol is at second base. And up comes Owen Davis, the left-handed hitter. He struck out fly to left. We've seen Davis bomb the ball a few times, especially in that first-round game against South Windsor, where Davis was 2 for 3 with a triple. There's a ball that just misses up high. So Davis, normally a dangerous hitter, but he's 0 for 2 here today, so he's due, as they say. And here's the pitch. Inside, well, they call it a strike right there. That's strike 1. Leopold comes set. Here's the 1-1 curveball or changeup. That one's fouled back to the screen. It wasn't a curve rather. It looked like he took something off, so probably a changeup. To left-handed hitting Davis. So there's 2 strikes on Davis now with their season on the line here. They have a runner at second, the name of Fredette. There's a pop-up foul. That'll be out of play. So Davis is alive. Evan Bouchard on deck. Here's the pitch. It's up high for a ball. Watching the pitcher for Avon warming up down the right field line. He looks like he's getting ready to pitch maybe next inning because he's going from the windup all the time. So here's the pitch. And he steps off. Leopold steps off. That one's in there for strike 3 on the inside part of the plate. Davis does not like it. He thought it was a ball, so there's 2 outs now. So Bristol's down to their last out in the name of Evan Bouchard, barring a hit now of Ryan Fredette. Bouchard steps in. He flied to center, popped to the catcher. Here's the pitch. Takes ball one away. As it's 1-0. Straddling off seconds for Fredette. There's a strike. It's 1-1. Right fielder playing rather deep for this right-handed batter with a wooden bat. Base hit will likely score a run if it's hit to right. Big gap between first and second base. There's a pop foul out of play, so it's now 1-2. So Bristol could be is down to their last strike. And you don't want to take strike 3 here to end your season. So Bouchard looking to protect. Leopold checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Way outside. The runner goes, and it gets away from the catcher. So now Bouchard, that's Fredette now gets the third base. Going to pass ball. Looks like maybe they were hoping that the runner goes and then the catcher tries to throw it to third. Maybe he throws an errant throw and the runner scores. Kind of one you usually do with 2 strikes. So it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. High fastball. It's full at 3-2. 90 feet away is Ryan Fredette. Bouchard trying to give his team life. Here's the 3-2. Ground ball towards third. By gets it. He gets it towards chest. Long throw to first. He does it. And Avon has done it. They have eliminated Bristol by the score of 1-0. Well, a masterful game pitched by Matt Leopold ends Bristol's season. Leopold only gave up 2 hits, struck out 4 batters on the day, walked only 2, hit nobody. But the big story of the game offensively for Avon is the fact that they got a leadoff walk in the top of the 7th on Christian Boudreau. Boudreau stole second after a fly out and a line out. Matt Leopold, the pitcher, did it all himself with an RBI single out into right center field to win this game for Avon. You can see both teams with the handshakes now, and then they'll walk out to talk. And Avon will move on to play the winner of the next game between Middletown and Waterford. Bristol end their season. They won 2 games in this tournament. That gives them, I believe, they were 15-5 going into the tournament. So they end the season at 17-6. Not a shabby record at all. So for Avon, they got 1 run on 2 hits. They didn't commit an error. They left 3 on base. And Bristol had no runs, only 2 hits, no errors. They left 4 runners on base, the last one being the biggest one on third base to end the game. So that'll do it here for the first game of this double header here on Sporting News CT. Second game coming up between Waterford and Middletown in approximately a half an hour. So